Hey, welcome back to Dadding. This is David. Wanted to take a second here in my car after work to talk with you about something I was excited about because I didn't want to talk about it once I got home and be distracted from my kids. And it's the show Manhunt, all right? If you haven't seen it, it's a show produced by Discovery Channel called Manhunt, and this season was called Manhunt Unabomber. My wife and I have been watching it on Netflix at night. And guys, first of all, I'll just say this. One of the things that I think is a huge enemy to your dadding is the TV. So I am nobody's champion of watching a ton of shows. But the reality is sometimes a good show can kickstart discussion, can challenge the way you think, and can be really a nice way to relax. One of the things I think is helpful is to think about sometimes with your wife and with others, it's good to have some side-by-side time where you're next to each other, but you don't have to necessarily be talking directly to each other. Sometimes it's just relaxing, but you don't want to do it too much. And the reality is a lot of us watch too much TV. Anyway, the show Manhunt. I loved it, okay? It's an 8-part docuseries, a miniseries, and Discovery Channel did just a phenomenal job telling the real-life story of the hunt for and the conviction of, the capture of and conviction of the Unabomber. And as you see this case unfold, it really centers around an FBI agent named James Fitzgerald, who's played by Sam Worthington. And this guy, I just thought they did a phenomenal job. The story's told compellingly. It's obviously very interesting. And really what you see is as the pursuit for the Unabomber unfolds, you also watch this guy, James Fitzgerald, get wrapped up in this passion of chasing after this criminal. And he gets consumed by his passion. It's an incredible thing to watch. Really, you get closer and closer to capturing the criminal, but your hero is unraveling as a man. And I thought that the show was compelling on so many levels, but it was the reason I want to talk about it with dadding is that it's a warning tale. And I think you should check it out. I think you should watch it and really take a lesson from Fitzgerald. Here's 2 conversations that really summarized what I saw happening. Fitzgerald was getting consumed by his obsession to the point that as he neared his goal, the things he loved around him were burning down. And the first conversation that started to display that was he's in his Philadelphia FBI agent office, and his boss comes over to him and can see that he's just been wrapped up in this case and getting consumed by it. And he says, "Listen, you got to take my word for it. It may not seem like it now, but I'm telling you from experience, it's just a case. It's just a case, and it can't be more than a case. It's just a case. There'll be another case in the future." And Fitzgerald kind of looks at his boss just like he looks at many of his other coworkers, like they just don't understand, and they don't have the drive, and they don't see what it is, and that he really writes off that advice because he thinks he's more driven and understands more correctly. But what's happening is that his passion is consuming him. And you see that then in that second conversation that came to mind for me, I wanted to tell dads about, was that he gets a break in the case. Fitzgerald gets a break in the case. He gets a call while he's at the theater with his sons. Leaves the theater, tells his boys, "I'll be back in just a minute." Then you cut to him looking at these documents all laid out on the floor, studying them, trying to figure out how if they can find this break in the case. And his wife comes and flips the lights on in the FBI office late at night. And she says, "Do you even realize how long it's been? It's been 4 hours you left those boys at the theater." And she tells him how what he's doing is breaking down their family. And he looks at her. And then she says something powerful. She says, "Are you coming?" And Fitzgerald looks at his wife, so consumed by his passion, and doesn't know what to choose. Frozen between what mattered most, but what had taken over his perspective. His passion and really what he was made for. And it's a compelling moment. I want you to watch it and think through it. But I think he offers a warning for dads because we are tempted often to get wrapped up in whatever it is. And so dads, I want to ask you on this Friday evening, have you lost perspective? so to speak, when that agent said it's just a case. Is this client that you're dealing with just another client? And in 20 years, you'll look back and you won't even remember his name. Or this case, or this sale, or this promotion. Is it just another promotion? And in 15 years, you might not even remember hustling for it, or a sales goal, or a project. Is what's consuming you? Maybe it's a hobby. Will it be something that you look back in 10 years and it's just, 20 years, it's just a docuseries on Discovery Channel? The Unabomber case might have had the world's attention for a minute, but it doesn't now. It's just a documentary on a cable channel that's now available on Netflix, right? And as you fight with what seems to be grabbing your attention and what matters most, tonight you've got to ask yourself, is this going to matter in the long run? Or is this just something that needs to be put below what matters most? Because these things will seem large. They will say, oh, this has got all my attention. Honey, I just need to take this call. You'll be tempted away from your aging parents or from your little children for another text, another work call, another project. And the reality is that you need to hear your wife and kids sitting there saying to you, are you coming? Are you coming to what matters most, dads? Let's hit it with all our might. Check out the Discovery Channel's docuseries, Manhunt, Unabomber. Sam Worthington, Paul Bettany are awesome in it. I was compelled by it, and I also thought that warning of the example that they showed in James Fitzgerald was powerful for dads. I hope you're hitting this opportunity with all your might, all right? Catch you soon.